All right. Shalom. I want to begin by saying all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Yahweh being the name of the Father who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shah being the name of his Son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to your hopeful elect out there pushing this truth and with sincerity. Uh, Today's lesson, Lord willing, it will be edifying. Today's lesson is going to be on Leviticus 11, the dietary laws that the nation of Israel shall follow, or to follow, that the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, set out for us to follow. Um, so yeah. Also, diet from the Latin word means way of life. So this is just a dietary ways that our people should move and how we should eat and what we can and cannot eat. I'm going to begin with Leviticus 11 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. As you see, the Lord set this out for the children of Israel. That's why you see all these other heathen nations, they are eating all these abominable foods. But the Lord set this out only for the nation of Israel. Leviticus 11 and 3. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. So right there, see, let me highlight that. So basically, cloven, we have to eat. This is speaking of the animals of the land that we can't eat. They must have two things: cloven footed, and they must eat cud. This is what cloven footed is. I had previously got a picture earlier. Cloven foot is, as you can see right here, a split hoof. As you can see these pictures, good examples of cloven footed animals. Now, mind you, they must be cloven footed and eat cud. And cud is just grass or vegetation, plants. For example, as you can see, the pig is cloven footed, but the pig does not eat cud. The pig eats anything. It could eat a dead body. It could eat trash. It eats flesh. Any trash the pig would eat. But it is cloven footed. But the animal must be cloven footed, and it eats cud alone. You can't have one or the other. It must have both. Let's jump back into it. Leviticus 11:4. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Right here, the Most High is telling you that even the camels who eat cud, but their hoof are not split, you cannot eat them. Those are considered unclean unto the Most High, and unclean to our body and to the nation of Israel. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. The coney is just a rabbit. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you unto you. And here's just another form of a rabbit. And the swine, this is what I was just talking about earlier. Shalakia, this is what I was just talking about earlier. How with the swine, Leviticus 11:7, and the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you. Leviticus 11:8, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean unto you. And in the scriptures you'll see you cannot even touch them, but knowing we are in Babylon. But once you touch say a pig, for example. Once I touch the pig, I would be considered unclean until until evening, until the sun sets. I'll be unclean for that whole day. Um, Let me see, where am I? Shalakia. So let me highlight these. All right, Leviticus 11 and 9. Now this is going to get into the what we could eat from the water. The animals we could eat from the water. Now Leviticus 11 and 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. All right. So we can only eat things from the water and the seas that has fins and scales. They must have both, not one or the other. And all that have not fins and scales in the sea and in the rivers of that of Shalakia, and in the rivers of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be abominations unto you. They shall be even abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. Right there is a clean cold cut. If they don't have fins nor scales in the waters, that should be an abomination to you. So, for example, we could eat salmon, snappers, these things that have fishes, these fishes that have fins and scales, animals of the sort. All right. Leviticus 11 and 13. Shalakia. Leviticus 11 and 13. And these are they which ye have in abomination among the fowls. Now, fowls is just another word for flying creatures. All right. Leviticus 11 and 13. And these are they which ye shall have in abomination, the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle and the ostrich and the osprey and the vulture and the kite after his kind. Shalakia. The vulture and his kite after his kind. Every raven after his kind. And the owl and the nighthawk, Shalakia, and the nighthawk and the cuckoo and the hawk after his kind. So therefore, there are many different types of vulture. There are many different types of raven. There are many different types of owls and nighthawks and cuckoos and hawks. That's why the Most High is saying after his kind. So every single type of vulture, every single type of raven, every single type of owl, every single type of hawk, every single type of cuckoo, every single type you cannot eat. These are abominations and unclean. Leviticus 11 and 18. And the swan and the pelican and the gear eagle and the stork and the heron after her kind, Shalakia, and the lapwing and the bat and the bat, Shalakia, all the fowls that creep going upon all four. Now, this one's going to get into the fowls that creep now. Now, Leviticus 11 and 20. All the fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these, Shalakia, yet these may ye eat of every flying creature that goeth up upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap without upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat: the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. So right here from Leviticus 20 to 22, it tells you of all, I guess you could say, all the insects that we are able to eat and unable to eat. As you can see, we could eat locust, We could eat beetles, all types of beetles, and the beetles after his kind. So we could eat all types of beetles, and the bald locust after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. Those would be the insects that we can eat. Leviticus 11:23. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you, and for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. Shalakia. Leviticus 11:26. The carcass of every beast which divide the hoof and is not cloven footed nor cheweth the cud are unclean unto you. Everyone that toucheth them shall be unclean. Now Leviticus 27. Leviticus 11:27. And whosoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all fours, those are unclean unto you. Whosoever toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the even. Right there, for example, like animals with paws we can't eat. For example, leopards, lion, etc. Like those animals to those sort, we cannot eat those animals. They do not uh, fall into the criteria of eating cud. First of all, because leopards and lions, those eat meat, so they're not fall in the category of eating cud. On to Leviticus, Shalakia. Leviticus 11:28. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even, and they are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth, that weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise of his kind, and the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever doth touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the evening. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, it shall be unclean until the evening, so it shall be cleansed. Any of them falleth whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Leviticus 11:34. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. I had a couple of pictures for examples of clean and unclean foods and animals that we can eat and cannot eat. So you can see, this is the fish. They must have scales and fins. So as you see, the crab, shrimp, and lobster, those are all abominations because they do not have scales and fins, and they do not fall into the law of the sea, the law that the Lord created of the animals of the sea, creatures of the sea must have, that we may eat, that would make them clean, of having the fins and scales. These animals do not have it. Crab, shrimp, and lobster do not have fins and scales. The crab would be the land version of a spider. So the crab is basically the sea version of a spider. A shrimp is a sea version of a roach. A lobster is a sea version of a scorpion. So when you're eating crab, you're basically eating a spider. You're eating shrimp, you're eating a roach. You're eating lobster, you're basically eating a scorpion. Alright? You see some more unclean foods that we cannot eat: crawfish, shark, squid, octopus, rabbit, catfish, duck, shrimp, of course, pig, and crawfish, lobster, crab, pork, and shrimp, and catfish also are popular things among Jake that a lot of Jakes in the world eat. Um, I got a video now. In this video, this is a snail, I believe, and it's a guy, and he's basically going into the snail. And as you can see, as he's going into the snail, this shows you how unclean this is. And there's people out here that eat these abominations, that eat these snails. As you can see, there's all these worms, all these insects, all this dirtiness that's coming out. But people choose to eat this. All these parasites that were inside the shell of this, that all just came out just now. And it's showing you how it was just dirty, and there's still some on the inside, as you can see. Just some more, of unclean foods that you cannot eat. Now, this is a Jake woman. I believe she's eating, I don't know, maybe crab legs or lobster, some seafood she's eating. As you can see, Jake loves this stuff. Jake loves this. She's basically eating a huge spider right now, and these are unclean. And the Lord specifically set out these laws, specifically and clearly. Not no ifs, ands, buts, not no, oh, maybe this, maybe that. Specifically tells you, you could eat this, you could eat that, you can't eat this, and you can't eat that. And our people choose to take part in these abominations, as you see. Last video, Jake, man, eating shrimp and crab legs. As you can see, the Most High clearly says for us to not eat this. These things are very unclean. Even in the Christian churches, some of the apostles say, the wacky tacky Christians, even in the churches, the Christian churches try to preach, but yet they say it's okay to eat crabs, it's okay to eat lobster, it's okay to eat pork, it's okay to eat all these things that the Most High specifically set out in Leviticus 11 in his laws, statutes, and commandments for us to not eat. These things Most High specifically said for us to not eat, for us to not take a part of. But yeah, our people love this stuff. Lord willing, I hope that this lesson was edifying. And also, again, I want to say all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kwakwadas. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.